Hello, everybody. Dr. Jenn here, wanting to answer a question that was asked of me this morning, and that was, why FLIA? First of all, for those of you who are hearing FLIA for the first time, FLIA stands for Fun, Loving, Intentional Adventure. And it's something my wife and I created 8 years ago when we first met and recognized that we had something special, but we had come from a history of failed relationships and wanted to move forward intentionally, but with action, so we could actually have success having a healthy, happy relationship. And FLIA was born. And I'm happy to say we just celebrated 4 years of marriage after being together for 8 years. Now, how does that impact you? Well, if you're at all paying attention to anything that's going on in the world, you know that there's a lot going on. There's a lot of stress, there's a lot of fighting, there's a lot of divisiveness, there's a lot of disagreements and exhaustion because it's been one thing after the other after the other. Of course, with the pandemic and that going from 1 week to years, the fighting about vaccinations and whether to vaccinate and not to vaccinate, mask and not mask, quarantines, and those questions are still there. And I know it's exhausting. And that's why we have an opportunity here to come together in ways that we can, we'll do just that, come together. And that's with fun, loving, intentional adventure. Now, how do we do that when we're fighting? How do we do that when we disagree with what's going on in our world, no matter which side of things that you're on? And it's finding ways that we can agree. Now, what does that look like? FLIA, the FLIA way, can be used whether things are going well, whether they're going smoothly. They're a reminder and a framework that we want to lead with fun, that we want to have fun in our lives each and every day. And now when things are going smoothly, that's easy because we can celebrate and people want to join in the celebrations. But how do we do that when things are challenging and we have to have difficult or uncomfortable conversations? Let's use Roe versus Wade. No matter which side you stand on, you're wanting to talk to somebody about this because you feel strongly about it. And you think, well, can I lead this with love? Actually, what I meant to say, can you lead this with fun? That might not feel so good. So we're going to lead with love. How can I love myself knowing I'm going to have a difficult conversation? How can I love the people that I'm going to have that conversation when I suspect that we're going to disagree? We'll spend some time first answering the question, how do I take care of myself and love myself in this? The second piece, the I in FLIA, the intentional piece. How can I show up with intention? And that might mean you look at your beliefs and you look at where they come from and how you feel about them and come in with the intention of listening, actively listening. And then you might go back to the fun piece and go, okay, where does fun come in this? Now, some of you might say, well, let's do this after we've spent some time together doing something fun. Others might say that just doesn't feel good. So then the fun comes in when you say, you know what? We'll have this difficult conversation, or what we suspect will be, and let's celebrate that at least we came together and talked, we communicated, and we can celebrate after, whether it's with ourselves or with others. And that's where the fun can come in. And of course, the adventure is a reminder that just because we think we know how things are going to go, we can show up with a level of excitement and a level of newness, being open to possibility. And that's just one way that FLIA, the FLIA way, can support each and every one of us in this time. Now, I want you to get involved. How can you do that? You can become, because you are, 1 in a million, and be counted as 1 in a million. What does that look like? I want you to sign up for my email list and talk to me. Have a conversation with me. Let's get on a phone call or a Zoom call and talk about FLIA and how it can not impact only your life, but my life. And if we've got 1 million people on board, we can change the world. Stay tuned for the link. It'll be in the comments. Love y'all.